Okay, let's take a look at the Scythe variation that Sean Doherty came up with on Juji Gatame. We got Mike on the bottom and Eric on top here. So Mike, talk us through this variation. It's kind of a spinning Juji Gatame, so let's go with it.
So a lot of times when you're setting up your regular Juji Gatame, you're getting over here. As soon as you do, this guy's real strong. He pops up, and what we like to do is lock that leg in there and switch your hips over real quick, and switch to the opposite side with the opposite arm. Just finish it. It's really tight, especially no-gi.
Okay, so let's take a look. Let me back out here and get a better view of it. So you spin there.
Here, he pulls it out. I trap this other arm. I switch my hips, shrimp out, and this is just so tight. You get down here. It's just very effective.
Show us how your hip shift. So when he pulls out, that's when you okay. Go ahead and start your now. Now, Eric, you're pulling out. Now let me catch. Let's do that. Slow that down just a bit. So when you're, let me get a different angle. So when you pull that out, you turn that.
I'm focusing on it.
So you spin under him onto your left hip, and you catch over, and you roll him. Okay. Let's take a look at that again.
This elbow is a fulcrum to shrimp the other way.
Okay. So you are. There's your shrimp to the right. He pulls out. Now you shrimp back to the left, and you tie him up. Hey, let's take now. That's good. Can you just show the hip shift when you do that, Mike? I'll focus in on the hip shift. There, and you shift back. Now keep it there. Come back up just slightly so the folks can see. So there you are. And as you shift, now look at everybody. Look at his left leg. This left leg, we're looking right there. You see his foot. See how that traps, and it comes around. Let's take a look at. See how it's jammed under. And he rolls it right over. Okay, let's take a look at that again.
It's placed in the neck really well when it comes back.
So Eric's saying it's placed in the neck very tightly.
Right here.
Right there, and it really creates a choking action too.
That one across the neck, and that one pulls the two, squishes it around.
Mm-hmm. And you roll over and finish it.
I mean, and I keep it really tight when I'm on the ground too, because it does. If nothing else, if I'm not getting the arm bar, it sucks on the ground to choke.
Yeah, that's a really good leg choke, isn't it? Yeah, very, very nice leg choke. So come across there. Now let me okay, time out just a second. Let's see how you shift that leg across there. That's creating that really a bar across the carotid there, isn't it? And that traps. Now look how you're trapping the head. Perfect. Now you hook that over really tight, point the toes. You do that, and you roll them over and finish with the Juji. I'm getting a little closer. Can you guys work toward more of the center of the mat? We're in the boxing ring tonight, so we got a good contrast on the blue on the bottom. Kind of like doing that. Shift there, come over, and there you go. Now, Mike, with your hands, when you're doing this, you're still trapping and doing the same thing you'd be normally doing on a spinning Juji Gatame, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because whenever somebody's escaping with this arm, they always post here. As soon as they post there, I feel that arm. I trap it to my chest.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I shrimp.
Now with your other arm, your right arm, you're just holding it there just because you're practicing, but you'd be grabbing, wouldn't you? Can you do that like you'd be doing it in a real fight or a situation? And see, yeah, and you just roll back and you take the Juji. Okay, so that is really, in addition to being like that Scythe movement that Sean Doherty really came up with, his beautiful move. I don't know where he saw it or if he made it up, but boy, it's a good move. It's a good controlling of the head and shoulders. In addition to a Juji Gatame, you've got a nice kind of an ankle choke, a leg choke with the shin. See there, it comes across there, and it's almost double trouble. You could maybe even finish it in a double trouble with the. That's it. Eric, when you feel that, do you feel it? Is it a strangling or choking action as he's straightening your arm?
So the legs, when he's rolling me over, the legs are squishing the neck really good. When he goes to isolate the arm, it gives me a little reprieve around the neck. But my arm, I'm losing the battle against my elbow and shoulder at that point. So
your arm's totally extended.
Maybe
and you've got
safer here, but I'm going to tap out here really soon.
Yeah, he's got your arm. Okay, one more time and then we'll wrap it up. That's really good side movement from the spinning Juji, and you finish it out. There you go. Quite a way to do it. Thanks a lot, gentlemen.
Breathing room back if he kept me straight up in the air. So instead of rolling him all the way out, if I just straighten him up here, I still maintain this.
So you're arching your hips. You're arching your hips, and you've got his head trapped, and there you go. Okay, let me back off and try to show that again.
Too much on the neck? All right. So the arm pops out.
Shift to the left, shift to the left.
Shift the hips over and kind of entangle here.
Try that again. Shift your hips over a little more to the left.
All right.
And I think you'll have just like perfect position. There. And now you've got the straight. By arching, you don't need to really, like you said, need to roll them over. I mean, rolling them over is icing on the cake.
But if I push them all the way down, I'm going to lose some of the tension around the neck.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If I roll them all the way over. If I keep them right here, I can keep that focused in on his.
Now, Mike, if
about not getting stacked.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that keeps you from being stacked. It really does. What if Mike, from that position, get that position again, and Mike, if you tried to stand from, okay, get your move start. Yeah, there you go. Now, Mike, if you tried to stand up, that'd even be a nastier arm lock, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if I pressed in, I think it happens.
Right.
Yeah, let's take a look at that again. If he stands, it makes it even tighter on him. And a lot of guys will stand, which makes sense. As he stands up, and you've got him. Let me come around the different angles. Stay there, guys, and I'll come around to get a better angle. As he stands, he stays with it. And that's that Scythe variation of Juji Gatame that Sean Doherty worked on so much. There you go. So if he does stand, it really gets the tap out, because you're tying his head up so deeply, it really does prevent you from standing up. Remember, one of the great ways to keep a guy into Juji Gatame from here, whether you do the standard or go out the back door, any variation from the bottom, is trap his head, keep his head bent down. He can't stand up with it. That keeps him from standing up, posture up. Well, this really is perfect for that. It really traps the head. Can we see it one more time? And as he stands up, he makes it happen. Very good. Okay, great. Okay, we're going to be doing the Scythe variation of the spinning Juji Gatame, but the situation here is if the top man goes forward to try to evade, and he pushes into Mike to try to stack him, Mike is going to roll over and finish with pretty much a head roll Juji Gatame from that position. So let's take a look at that again, everybody. So Mike's starting the side. Let's get the basics down. So see how he does the application of the legs here. Size that up. So there's the setup. Okay. Now Aric on top doesn't like being there. I don't blame him, and he's going to push and try to avoid it. Mike just keeps rolling, and he takes him over into a really nice Juji Gatame finishing. And Mike, when you were grabbing, when you finish there, let's look at that again. When you're coming under, go ahead and do your move, and we'll just talk it through. Now, as you're rolling, you're catching, and I see with your left hand you grab the leg, almost much like a Russian drag to some degree, but you're rolling him. Okay, so we start with the basic move of spinning Juji Gatame. He comes back, he shifts his position back into the Scythe movement. Okay, Aric, oh, he's already tapping as he tried to stand up. Yeah, that was a really strong one. So sometimes the opponent will try to stand up. So stand up, and let's do it the way we were doing before earlier in the evening in practice, where you come up and the guy stands up and you just finish there. See that? Okay, let's look at that one more time, and then we'll compare that with if the guy bulls forward. There, comes under. Now that's the stand-up version. Now, Aric, if you were to bull forward and try to push Mike out and roll him over, Mike would just keep rolling over his left shoulder into that really kind of a head roll, back roll Juji Gatame. More of a head roll, I guess, in this situation. Okay, let's look at that one more time, then we'll wrap it up. Very nice move. Come there. He tries to bull forward, and he doesn't take it, and he does that. Now, let me ask you this, put you on the spot, guys. Aric, if you were staying on your knees and not standing up, if you were just kind of coming up, yeah, could you stack him from there? And because a lot of guys won't stand up on the knees, they'll stack from that position, but bull him forward, and he can still keep rolling over. Yeah, it's not quite as pretty. And I kind of put you on the spot from there.
If he kept He's kept the foot in before.
Yeah, let's move back to center, Mike. You're moving him off the mat a bit there. Okay. So you come in there, you spin back the other side, there you go. And there, if you yeah, you can catch it nice and clean and finish with it there. So,
Pushing in, yeah. Ideally, I don't want to fight against him if he's pushing one way. I want to let him go that way.
right. And that's a really, really strong. And again, this variation of the hooking the foot around the head, we first picked it up from Sean Doherty, and he called it the scythe. You know, like the reaping motion, you know, the hooking around the neck. So that's why we call it that.